right, welcome in, boys. Take it to the bank, Martinsville. NASCAR outright show every Tuesday night. Thursday, we'll cover the props. Coop is here. Meyer is here. How you doing, gentlemen?
Not bad. Can't complain.
How you feeling, Cooper? Any better?
Yeah, I feel better. Actually, like the last couple days, I felt pretty good compared to how I've actually been feeling. I'm just freaking tired. I'm too old to work 72 hours a week, man.
Yeah, I hear
Can you
you.
imagine working 72 hours a week, Jay?
I mean, I've done it before in my life.
Yeah, when you were 23.
Yeah, true. No, I couldn't. Not right now. No. I'd settle. I like before we start working 72 hours a week, let's sleep more than 3 hours in the night, you know?
Yeah. Definitely. But I will tell you though that I actually slept pretty good, man. So maybe I should work more.
All right. Don't forget, hit the like button, subscribe to the YouTube channel if you're not a member, and you guys could use the promo code NASCAR is back for a 1-week free trial at nukethehouse.com. All week we'll have live betting shows. I know Holden is going to do stuff for the tournament this week. Next week, MLB starts. We'll have at least one MLB live show every week. And then obviously on the weekends, on Friday, Saturday, and Sunday, we'll be doing what we do for NASCAR and MMA. So a lot of programming going on right now. A lot of it's free. So at least come and check it out. And then take advantage of the 1-week free trial. NASCAR is back at nukethehouse.com. Okay. So, Coop, you missed a lot. I don't know how much money I lost this week that just passed. I haven't had the nerve to figure it out yet. I'm probably going to do that tomorrow. So let's clue you in on the weekend. We took the 2 worst beats that we will take the entire 2025 season, and I feel strongly about that, in back-to-back days. Sunday was awful too, but it still just paled in comparison to what happened on Friday and Saturday. So Friday night, Coop does know what happened. We were on a couple 25-1 shots. First of all, it should be said, I'm going to assume that if Corey Heim doesn't have an issue and his car doesn't turn off, he probably wins that race for fun, right? Now, we were on him, and we probably would have made a unit when it was all said and done on Heim, but we had a couple bombs that were right there at 25-1 that looked like maybe they can get it done. And then Kyle Larson was about 10 seconds back with 16 laps to go, I think, something like that. One of the guys in the chat said they heard on the radio he made a second a lap on the field, the final 6 laps of the race. And we just sat there in awe and could not believe what we were watching when Coop, you and I have done this together a long time. Never in my life on the same pitch strategy have I ever seen somebody make up a second a lap on the entire field. I could not believe what I was watching.
Yeah, it was really impressive.
So that was Friday night. Meyer, you want to add anything to Friday night?
So it was impressive and it was terrifying at the same time. But listening to Denny's podcast, Denny did say credit to Larson for trying to do it the right way, and then he just chose the Larson line late in the race to win, and then it was over.
So did you just say, I'm gonna ride or die?
Coop, it happened. I'll tell you, it happened so fast that my brain could not even compute with what was going on, because when he went to the tail end of the field,
Yeah, he's in 25th.
He went to 12-1 at Caesars, right?
Well,
But if you watch the majority of that last run, he was coming, but it did not look like he would be able to get there. He was 4 seconds back with 6 laps to go. I mean, like
It was more than that, actually. But yeah,
was it? What? Okay, so it was more than that. More than 4 seconds back with six laps. Everything that you and I know about this sport says you can't make 4 seconds up in 6 laps. So, or 5 seconds up in 6 laps. So, when the first time I thought about getting on him, he was down to 4-1, and it would have been a maybe cover my investment type bet.
right.
I just did not think he would be able to get there. I've never seen it before in my life. So I just did not think that he would be able, not on the same pit cycle. I just didn't think that would be possible. And it was in a big way. Yeg wasn't here on Friday night. If he had been here on Friday night, you know him well enough to know that he would have bet that 12-1 on Kyle Larson auto bet.
Oh,
and it would have forced Meyer and I.
He basically auto bets him if it's like 10-1.
Right. And that probably would have forced Meyer's hand and my hand, and we probably would have ended up betting it at that point. But Yeg felt about as good as you.
Did you tell Yeg on Saturday or Sunday that it was his fault?
Yes, I did. 100%.
So hold on, not for nothing too. What else was going on while we were kind of watching the Larson thing? Like Heim's truck's just randomly shutting off, and then he's losing 3 seconds, and then he's driving back to the front.
And he drives back to the lead.
Right. Yeah.
And then Riggs looks like he's got an okay truck. So there's so many things going on that you can't even square up. Hey, we have to bet Larson right now because he's still 8 seconds back. Right?
His truck shut off, 3 or 4 times?
Yes. And he drove back to the front. When there were 5 laps to go in that race, and Larson was 4 seconds back, and his car shuts off, Coop, we are laughing out loud. We've got the top 2 shots in the race at 25-1 running 1-2. They're running 1-2 with 5 to go. And then all of a sudden, Corey Heim's car turns back on. And he comes back out of nowhere, takes the lead. And then we look up, and this guy's taking off a second a lap. And I'm sitting there going, what's happening right now?
You had Heim, right? Like as a hedge or something?
Yes. Yeah. We had Heim. Yeah. But in retrospect, we probably should have just hoped his car never turned off because he wins the race, I think. Pretty sure about that.
But we were set up well on the short run too, because Chastain had a short run truck. Like we were covered everywhere except fucking Larson.
Everywhere. Had the best short track run in case of a late caution because Kyle Larson could not get out of his own way on every restart. Car was it looked like it was on ice, Coop. Any restart, he looked like he was dead in the water. So okay, now let's go to Saturday.
Well, it was really bad. Like the top line was spinning on the restarts, right?
Yeah.
Larson just never had grip on any restart.
Right. It didn't matter where he was. He just had no grip at all. Saturday comes. Did you see anything that happened on Saturday?
I just read. I didn't go back and watch it like I did the truck race because I wanted to see, the Kyle Larson magic.
Meyer and I could not have bet the race more perfectly. We made 2 bets the entire race. We bet Larson. He had a 15-second lead on the car in second place. There were 4 cars on the lead lap with 7 laps to go in the race, Coop. We can't lose. It's impossible, right?
We even bet Mayer with.
Hold on, wait.
You story it.
So Meyer and I are going back and forth, and we're like, here's the thing. It's Xfinity. Any kind of late caution Sam Mayer has the best short run speed in the race by a country mile. If this caution comes out with 2 to go, Coop, he wins.
He was the Ross Friday night.
He was the Ross Friday night. Exactly right. Exactly right. So we made the bet. Okay. Caution. We're like, let's go. They come off pit road, Coop. They come off pit road 1, 2.
Mhm.
We can't lose the race. Do you know what Sam Mayer did? On the restart, he chose behind Larson. He didn't go alongside of him. What happens? He drives right through him on the restart. Right through him. Bumped Kyle Larson. Never had grip. Never had a fucking shot. The guy had a 15-second lead with 6 to go and finished 4th. Sam Mayer, I don't even think he finished in the top 5. I don't even know where he finished.
I think he got around Larson and finished 3rd.
Oh, did he?
I have
Did
to
he
go
end up
back and
finishing?
look.
So
You couldn't. They came off pit road 1, 2, bro. You can't make it up.
So if he had really good short run speed, was like the high line that bad on restarts, like spinning? Because like
We couldn't figure it out. We
Well,
We
so
couldn't
Larson's
figure it
car was set up the same as his truck was set up. It was set up for the long runs. He was the best car in the race on the long runs.
But what Meyer and I couldn't figure out is why he didn't just pull up alongside of him, because
right. So why wouldn't he take the outside? I mean,
We don't know.
No.
He could have just drag raced Larson to the finish on the top side. It just made no sense that he would choose the bottom unless he was afraid that Larson was going to use him up going into turn 1 and he would have got it back. But that car was so much better on the 10-lap run than Larson ever was.
Allgaier won, right?
Yes.
He did.
Did he start on the outside?
He started on the outside of row 1.
Yeah,
and because Mayer said it was the worst restart he's ever had. He didn't time it right. Larson was going to bunch him up, and Mayer just said, "Fuck that! I'll drive right through you."
Through him
into his rear so hard that Kyle's back comes off the ground. He has no grip to start. Wads up the entire bottom row. Allgaier says, "Thanks for the free W." Gone.
Yep.
So basically, Allgaier backdoor to win from like all his losses.
Correct.
Yeah, he finally got a lucky break one time.
Correct.
And Sam Mayer cost Larson the sweep on the entire weekend.
But the dick kick, Coop, is that we pulled the trigger on Mayer anticipating the caution because we know the sport. And they come off pit road 1, 2, and we still found a way to lose. Literally 12 hours after what happened on Friday night.
What did you get Mayer at since he was
9, 10, somewhere around there? 9
it was
or
like
10.
850, I think. But yeah.
And we had Larson.
If they would have ran that out, it would have been Larson, Mayer, Allgaier, and Austin Hill would have been the only car on the lead lap. That was
right.
And it's debatable if Austin Hill finishes on the lead lap because with 8 to go, that's when the caution came out. But you just knew the caution was coming because they were cording those tires in the 35 to 40 lap range, and we had to go 42 to run it out. You knew a caution was coming.
Yep, and it came.
We still get hosed.
We nailed it dead to rights, man. And of course, the Kyle Larson parlay that it ends up winning. I think we would have hit 7 or 8 to 1, something like that on the parlay. So that was
we had a parlay with him.
Yeah, because he was fucking -1. What did he go off at? -170.
Yeah, he's minus
177. I think was the highest.
And of course, the parlay ends up winning. So that cost us 7,000. Whether you were going to get it with Mayer or you were going to get it with Larson, right? Okay. So that I do not think, when you think about how that Friday and Saturday goes, I don't think that we will have 2 worse beats the entire year. Sunday
I hope
comes.
not.
Sunday comes, hold my beer. We're on the best car in the race by a fucking country mile. First of all, there's nobody faster on the racetrack right now than Ryan Blaney. We'll get to it. Everybody else right now just going for second place. Here's the problem. The guy can't finish a race. Three
No.
DNFs in a row. 3 DNFs in a row. Had the fastest car on the track in all 3 races. So obviously we're on him, Coop. The only thing he has to do is finish the race. Now, granted, he was in 3rd place because he kept going down pit road too early, and every time he would go down too early, Larson and Denny would go long, and then it would give them the ability to end up passing him once they finally went down pit road, because it was amazing, Coop, what 9 laps difference in tires did after 25, 30 laps. Like if you waited, if you long pit, you were always going to get the lead, always. And Ryan Blaney was on a planet by himself. He had 8 seconds on the field in stage 1.
Yeah.
8 seconds.
His pit crew did him no favors too, by the way.
None, right? Now, granted, every top 10 that I was on Sunday, Coop, the cars were backwards on pit road. Every single top 10, I bet they were going the wrong way at some point during the race on pit road. So finally, Ryan Blaney, he's coming. We're basically in that last run, right? Were we in the last run, Meyer?
No, we were. I think we were in late stage 2 or maybe early stage 3, and we're at a full cutaway commercial, by the way, when this happens.
And his car blows up. Dead.
See him drop kick Coop. He's cutting time. He got it under a second, and he's in 3rd, and he's cutting on the leaders. And I see him start to, he drops 2 seconds back, and I don't want to because everybody says, "Oh, you fucking mired me," right? So I'm not saying anything yet because I'm like, okay, I got to see when they come back. I'm like, why did Blaney just drop a second and a half last lap? And then I look and I go, oh, it's a caution. So I'm like, okay. So I'm like, hey, well, there's a caution. So we come back from break. Boom. His fucking motor it exploded.
Explodes.
I was like, well, that's why there was the caution. We're dead.
And then Coop, just for the icing on the cake, Kyle Larson looks like he's got no fucking shot. 30 to go. And basically he let Alex Bowman, Bubba Wallace, and Chase Briscoe in front of him. He let them all recognize while they will never be him in their entire life. And he saved those tires for 40 fucking laps and then hit the button and it was all over but the crying, bro. Bubba burnt the shit out. Bowman burnt the shit out. Briscoe burnt the shit out. And again, he made up 3.5 seconds in, I don't know, 8 laps.
We called it too. He said it's going to do the truck race all over again.
We knew we were dead. We were just hoping that Bowman or Briscoe saved something, but it became clear quickly that they had absolutely nothing. And then we knew we were dead. But we should have been counting our money from Friday and Saturday, and it shouldn't have even mattered what happened on Sunday. But brutal, Coop. When you want to talk about brutal, man, I can't remember the last time we had a back-to-back-to-back like that. Brutal. I said, thank God Coop's working today.
That must sounds like it was. So I checked I read an article, then I checked the standings, and I had to go fucking look at the 15 lap thing.
Yeah, good.
Freaking AJ Allmendinger. So congratulations. You stuck with him. He had his top 10. Looked like he had a good car because he was in the top 15 for most of the race.
Right.
He was in between 10th and 7th all day.
Keegan, that's a lie. Larson wasn't better than Blaney on the long run. The only difference was Blaney would come down pit road first. If Blaney stayed out as long as Kyle Larson stayed out, he would have never given up the lead to him or Denny Hamlin on any run in that race.
Yeah, Larson and Denny did a full split the stages in half.
Right.
Blaney and the rest of those guys short pit the stage. So it's hard. Like they always looked better in the longer run, right? I think Denny and Larson drove from the back of the field up to third in that first stage when they did it, and they just continued to do it. I don't
They
know why Blaney and them didn't adjust in stage
right.
two.
Now I agree that they always looked better in the long run, but it was only because they waited to pit. That's the only reason. And Coop, like I said, man, it was fucking crazy what a 9-lap difference in tires. I mean, like, if you went down pit road 9-10 laps later, you were guaranteed to get the lead, guaranteed to drive all the way up there.
So, did Toyota have more speed, or do you think that
Briscoe had more.
Hamlin and Briscoe
Yes,
were
yes.
better because of the tire wear?
I don't know. Like
So
Denny made one. He moved up on pit road one time, but he stayed up there the whole day. Once he got up there, he never really dropped through the field like we've seen him do this year. He basically stayed there the whole day. And Briscoe kind of hung around, but he was never really a threat for anything, right, Meyer?
No, and like that's the hard thing to like. I still don't know what to think of Denny because Denny started, I think, like 19th or something, and at one point in stage one he was 22nd. He just never made a quality pass on the same equipment as like Larson did.
Right.
And even like Larson, even early in stage one, just went backwards too. I think he started in 14th, and I looked, and he was like hanging around in 17th. But because they chose to pit later, they looked so much better in the longer run. So I don't know if they were just saving tires because they were going to run that longer run, and that was just their strategy of the entire race. But like, I don't know how many quality passes Denny gets if he's not on 8-lap fresher tires late in those runs.
Right.
Right, but like when the cars pitted earlier, like they couldn't have stayed out too much longer because they risk going down a lap because they were slower and the other cars were that much faster.
No, they stayed on the lead lap. They, like I said, they made up a ton of time.
Because usually it's the opposite.
So Blaney ran like probably 70% of the race and still finished with the most fastest laps.
Oh,
yeah, that was my only saving grace. Yeah.
Oh yeah, nice.
He's just wicked fast to start the year.
Right.
Well, so when he had that 8-second lead in stage one, I think he had like a 12.5-second stop, and Byron had like an 8.5-second stop. Like he just continued to give up time on pit road too. And if you look at his 4-tire pit ranks this year, terrible.
Blaney.
Yeah.
So that was our weekend, Coop.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, and the icing, old man. You want the icing?
That's not the icing.
No, just for the cherry. Just for the cherry. You want to know who won top 4 this week?
It was Chase Briscoe, right?
He's not a Ford.
He's a Toyota.
He's not a Ford. Hold on a minute.
You want to know who won the top 4 this week?
Hold on. Busher.
Who was I?
Keselowski, but Keselowski didn't do good, did he?
Who was I on the last 2 weeks to be top 4?
Yeah. Busher.
12-1. He gets it this week. That was the icing. Just
so put your knuckles up.
No, he was good. He didn't break.
I was good. These are old. These are from a couple weeks ago.
And we had that host of our top 10, and he had a good car. His alternator gave out I think stage 2. Drove right to the back.
Who'd you say?
Hocevar.
Oh.
Alternator shit to back.
By the way, Dinger ran basically in the top 10 all day.
He was between 10th and 7th.
I saw he was in the top 15 almost.
Your boy got up. Your boy made an appearance though. Austin Dillon made a little noise.
I saw he finished like 13th or 14th or something.
Yeah, he was in the top 10 for probably, I don't know, a third of the race maybe.
Oh wow.
In that last stage, he was coming.
It's so funny too because all you heard like the last week, maybe even 2 weeks, is Larson shot. Like Larson doesn't have it. like he did before.
Is
Signs like, I
Larson-
refuse to bet Kyle Larson. It was like, for what reason? And now people are back on I just saw a podcast where the title was, Is Larson the best to ever do it? So we're officially back. We're already back.
So Coop, Martinsville, huh? What do you think this week, buddy?
I saw that nasty 4-letter words in there.
What
For
4-letter?
some-
Oh, rain?
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
That sucks.
Yesterday was 35%. Today it's 60.
Oh, I saw 30 earlier. It's Tuesday.
Yeah. So
But we don't have to worry about Monday, Marty.
no.
So, half-mile track.
Yep.
We're at Martinsville. Tire wear, obviously, we know. Here's the thing. There's no more horsepower in these cars than there were last year in this package, correct?
Mm-mm.
Correct.
It's almost impossible to pass the leader in the short track package. And it's very hard to pass any quality car in this package if they're not going to add horsepower. So do you
Tell
think
that to Ryan Blaney.
Do you think that we're going to see a lot of follow the leader?
I'm sure you will to a degree, but they used this tire last fall, right?
Yeah, as it was just the right side tire. They only use it on one side, right? They didn't use.
So I thought they said they ran this tire at the fall race and then at the Clash earlier this year.
Yeah, it's the softest tire that they have going.
So
And they're running that this full race. No options, no different sets. This tire and only this tire.
I think it'll help a little bit, but not a lot. Like, hold on a minute. Let me see something real quick. I think if the temperature was in like the 85 to 90 degree range, it would help a lot. But I'm sure it's not going to be.
No way. It's like 70s, I thought.
72. 72. So, I think, I think it'll help a little bit, but I don't think it's going to help enough to really be like, oh, wow, that's awesome. Because I've heard where like the fall race was much better than the spring race in Martinsville last year because they weren't using the soft tire in the spring, and that was really follow the leader.
Right.
Well, that was so like Logano put 2 tires on at the end of stage 1, and it like led the entire second stage. He just didn't care. So,
Yeah.
Do you think that we still see 2 tire stops in this race?
I think if the caution falls right at the end, you might. Not right at the end, but at the end of the race, if the caution falls right, you could possibly. But track position is so important,
right?
And then
because I saw Gilliland chose to do 2 tires in the fall on those option tires, right, or the softer tires, and I think he started like 3rd or 4th on his run, and I think he ended in 13th by the end of it. So they did seem to matter more.
I think the other thing too is like how many cars are left on the lead lap at the end. Like if it's a lot, you're going to lose a lot of track position potentially. But if there's not too many, then it's not bad of a gamble then.
Right.
But
so we have had 6 races in the next gen era. 3 people have won all 6. Byron's got 2, I think. Blaney's got 2, and Larson has 1, right?
Yeah, that's 5.
Oh, there's 1 more then. Who
Chris
else
Bell.
won?
Chris Bell.
Bell's got 1. When was that?
It was the year,
won in
not last year, but the year
22.
before. He had to win to get in.
Sorry, Chris Bell won in.
Oh, it was the fall race in 2022.
Yeah, I think it was it the Chastain race?
The Will Ride?
Yeah.
Oh,
That could've
really?
been it.
Was that? Oh, that
I think it was.
You could be right. All right, so let's go through the outright market. Ryan Blaney, I'm just looking at Bet365. Ryan Blaney, your current odds on favorite, plus 425. Larson 5-1, and Will Byron plus 750. It's hard for me to argue that these three guys should not be your favorite. I get it. I guess my one comeback to that would be, if we're just talking about short tracks in 2024, the three best cars on the track every fucking week were Elliott, Blaney, and Bell. I don't know how to square how Bell and Elliott looked on short tracks in 2024. But if we're just going off results, Blaney, Larson, and Byron should be your three favorites in this race. But Chase Elliott was the second fastest guy here in the fall. He was the third fastest guy here in the spring. And we know how good Chris Bell was on short tracks last year. So we'll get to them. But, I mean, it's impossible to not have a Ryan Blaney ticket in your pocket. He's the fastest guy on the track. And he's won 2 out of the last 6 here. Got to take him seriously. I think you got to take Larson and Byron seriously. It's hard not to be on all three, to be honest. I just worry about Elliott and Bell, but where I would assume you guys agree with me that Blaney, Larson, and Byron as probably have earned the right to be your odds-on favorite. I know Denny is a wild card because it's Martinsville. I know that, but that's where I'm at. They deserve to be your three favorites, and it's hard not to be on all three. Where are you guys at?
Totally agree. That 80 lap run from Blaney last year in the fall might be one of the most impressive next gen performances I saw. And like you said, the speed that he's been carrying, you just have to bet Brian Blaney. You might have to get creative how you do it, but you got to have a Blaney ticket.
Chase Elliott was low-key phenomenal on short tracks.
Remember how good he was at the Clash?
I agree with Blaney and Larson.
You down on Willie B?
He might be my fifth.
Who would be 3 and 4?
Chase would be 3. And Denny was or is, but when Adam said he wasn't sure if it was like the tire wear or the speed, still hadn't had an idea.
Yeah, it was hard to tell.
Right, hard to tell, So, but Chase is definitely my third, and then it would either be Denny or Byron.
Yeah, I think it's almost impossible not to be. I mean, you can't bet everybody, I know,
right?
But like, how do you not put a Chase Elliott ticket in your pocket this week, based on how good he was? There, really, Ryan Blaney might have been the only guy on a short track better than him last year, and he had top 3 speed in both races at Martinsville last year.
Mm-hmm.
So, I mean, man, it's real hard to fade him this week. I agree. He would be right there for me. I guess I'll respect the 2 wins that Byron has at this track lately. But I mean, I'm with you. Elliott is like 3B for me. I don't know what to make of Denny, man. I don't know. Again, like I think my opinion hasn't changed. Until he gets off the side of a milk carton, I'm not backing him. I don't know if what we saw last week constitutes being off the side of a milk carton.
He even said on his podcast, because they talked to him about this race in particular, and he said they gave him the stats. It's been over 3,100 days since he's won at this racetrack.
3,100?
Yeah, he has not won here in the next gen car.
Oh,
3,100 days is like
that's
10
like
years.
10 years. That's like
I
9
think
years.
he said 2014 is what he said on his podcast. Is the last time he won. You'd have to verify that. Fact check me.
That can't be right. Is that right, Coop?
Denny did not sound
2015,
excited to be going to
2015.
Martinsville. 15.
Yep.
Wow,
Yeah.
it's been a fucking decade.
I mean, he's had a third, a seventh, a second, a fifth, a fourth, a third, a fifth, a fourth, a
Consistent.
third, and a fifth.
Yeah,
Just not race
so,
winner.
so he's running third, fourth, or fifth every race.
And
Yeah, so it's hard to jump on him pre. And if he doesn't qualify well, like, do you really think that this is a race where he's going to make up a ton of spots? Maybe he does it on pit road.
I'll be honest. I probably back Joey Logano this week before I back Denny.
And the other thing is, like, he's basically led laps of 20 or more in every one of the races since 2015, minus 4 of them.
That's pretty good.
Yeah, you're going to, like, if you don't have a Denny ticket, you're going to be sweating Denny Hamlin at some point in time during the race, it feels like.
But, like, don't you think that there are so many people you can count on being strong that, like, I'd rather live bet him? I cannot bet him, I don't think, before the race.
Yeah, I don't think he's going to be a ticket that I have.
All right, so, yeah, we agree that 4 of the top 5 in odds should be there. Blaney, Larson, Byron, Denny, and Elliott. Now, Joey Logano, 8-1 at Bet365. Obviously, shop around. I'm just looking at one book. Joey's been low-key super strong at Martinsville. Second best average finish. He's finished in the top 10 all 6 races in the next gen era. He's finished in the top 5 in half those races. And he's coming off 10th and 6th place in 2024 here. He could show up, especially when you consider Penske has speed, man. Like, Austin Cindric has been driving in the top 10 a lot this year. And that tells you everything you need to know about whether or not Penske has speed, because he's a Nepo baby and he sucks. He's not good.
Like,
So,
I think Joey's actually had 11 consecutive top 10s here. Just like you said, you're going to be sweating Denny Hamlin if you don't have that ticket.
you're going to be sweating Joey.
You're going to be sweating Joey.
I kind of like him more. When you think about the speed Penske has shown, how does that not translate to him, Coop, in some type of way a little bit this week?
So I think the way to go, like, they're both 859, 950, somewhere in there, right?
Yeah, you could probably get
there's a stray 12-1 on.
You could probably get
the
either or at like 5-1.
Right. I would just bet the either or for both of them. Instead of betting a unit on each, try to either or to get it to like 12.
I don't hate that call.
That because you said you're going to be sweating both of them.
Yeah, I don't hate that call. Plus,
but
Joey,
are you really gonna get an either or at that number? Because I mean, Blaney's lower than that everywhere. Like, that number is going to be like 375.
no, we're talking about Logano or Denny.
Oh, gotcha. Okay, I thought you were talking about the Penske guys.
No. Logano or Denny. It's kind of like 2 birds, 1 stone. I agree with that call. I knew exactly where he was going when he said it. So yeah, that's not a bad call, Coop. Because especially like with the strategy piece too, Joey Logano at the end of a race at Martinsville when everybody's coming down pit road, if you don't have that guy and he's starting in the top 2 rows, you're shitting bricks, bro. You are shitting bricks.
See, my approach, kind of what I was thinking this entire week, was if I could get the number up on Blaney and just HMS, because I don't want to figure out which HMS guy is going to be the fastest. Like, I don't think Bowman's got the race winning speed, but I don't want to pick between Byron, Elliott, and Larson.
Wait, what do you mean?
if I would just get an HMS ticket and a parlay
What
up
do you
at a
think it's
decent
gonna be,
number, and then Blaney.
$1.50?
I think like 165 ish was what I saw when it opened at Caesars. Yeah, I mean, you're definitely going to have to get creative to get there. 2 minus
How the fuck?
110s gets you to about 9.
How do you get that number to 10-1 though?
Oh, that's what I was saying. Like 2 minus 110s gets you to 9, but it's still. I mean, it's not a fun way to get there.
No.
You need 3 legs at least.
Oh, yeah.
But I mean, what do you think about Bowman, Coop? Could he? He's been good. He's been
Right.
fast, very fast to start the year. Do you
He
think
would-
he could
he'd
be the
be my-
guy?
He'd be my 4th Hendrick car this week. But I'd probably rank him closer to 8th to 12th overall. But I think I mean, things fall right, he could win. He's not going to be drastically slow or anything. You know what I mean?
Right.
I mean, he has a win here.
Yeah, we were on him, I think, weren't we?
I don't know. It was the.
Does he have a win here in the next gen car? Because I don't see any wins for him since 2022.
Right. That's the year Denny called him a hack. When they were interviewing him, he only led like 4 or 5 laps in the race. Bum.
Oh, see, I have it as a blank. Did he? Because there was a year where he broke his back too, right? I was wondering if that was the reason he missed.
Yeah. It was October 31st, 2021. So the last run of the old car here.
Yeah,
Gotcha.
we were on him. He came out of nowhere.
He led 9 laps that day.
Yep.
And Denny was not happy.
But you know, in the new car, he's not been very good. He's got
his average finish in the next gen is 15th.
Yeah, 13th. Well, it's kind of skewed. 13th, 8th, 11th, 12th, and a 32nd. So, borderline top 10-ish.
Somewhere on the internet, there is a video of Coop and I at Run Pure probably celebrating that win in October 2021. I remember that race.
But yeah, definitely not somebody I'm going to bet pre-race, but you could put him in like the 2nd or 3rd tier of potential winners, depending on how deep you want to go.
Where would Joey be, like right on the tail end of that top 5, 6?
Well, the thing with Joey is, like, I think overall this year, Bowman's had a much better car than Joey.
I agree.
But Joey's really good here. Really good.
Right.
A lot better than Bowman. A lot better.
Yep.
Well,
and like Penske has speed. I mean, you could make the case he's the slowest Penske car on the track this year.
Yeah. I would bet Logano before Bowman pre-race.
I agree. Yeah, I agree. All right. After Logano, Bell 10-1, Briscoe 12-1. Both. I guess I don't know. I guess you can't say like Chris Bell isn't good here, great here, but I'm just so impressed on how he looked in general on short tracks in 2024 that I don't know. Like, he's very hit or miss. 1st, 16th, 7th, 35th. Like, he's very hit or miss, but I definitely respect the way he looked on short tracks last year.
He's only led laps here one time, one race. The race that he won.
Yeah, 150. Yep.
So he's not somebody I'm betting pre-race. His momentum is not very good. And if Adam said he's not sold,
Hold up. He won 3 out of the last 6. What the fuck are you talking about? His momentum is not very good.
It's not. Like, where's he finished the last 3 races?
Okay, but like momentum, like you can't count momentum in a 6-race span?
Not when your last three are good. Not when your last three are not good. Like if it alternated, maybe, but like when your first three are good and then your last three, you don't have good momentum.
Okay.
And you're
Now-
going to a track that, like you just read his results, not great. And then
Right.
Adam says, like, did he have speed last week?
Not really.
Right. So, maybe it's a Toyota thing. Maybe it's a JGR thing.
I think he spun out too. I think he cut a tire. He had issues all day. He was laps down, if I remember
Gotcha.
right.
Now, Chase Briscoe has had top 8 speed in every race the last 2 years. 4th in 2023, 1, 3rd in 2023, 2, 5th in 2024, 1, and 8th in 2024, 2. He's very good at managing tires. We know that. He's generally a pretty strong short track guy. Where are you at on Briscoe?
I think he's one of the stronger contenders who could potentially win. I would bet him before Bowman. Definitely bet him before Bell. Logano possibly, but it might be a number thing. Because I'm sure his number is better than what Joey's is.
Why do you think he struggled at the Clash? Just because it's so small and they can't get out of their own way?
Right. He got caught up twice.
Yeah.
He
And it
was
wasn't his
fast
doing.
at the Clash.
He had the fourth best speed at the Clash.
Right. We were on him. I get it.
Right.
I get it, but he struggled.
Right. I don't know. Like he's got to be really, really, really good to beat Chase, Blaney,
And Larson and Byron.
Larson, those guys, Denny, Byron,
Logano.
yeah, like really, really, really good. And like the thing that, like, if he was like,
My problem
20,
is the number.
if he was 20, I would definitely take him.
Right, 12 to 1. Like
12 to 1's like
he should be the price. He should be the price Bowman is 22 to 1. That should be his number.
Don't you think that this is pricing in a little bit of Marty's car? Because
It's
of how
pricing in
fast Marty's
something.
been.
It's pricing in
100%. Yeah,
something.
but Marty was good everywhere basically last year. Where's that fucking speed?
Marty put it on the poll here in the fall, I believe.
Yeah.
So I mean, if he goes out and he puts it in the front row, I mean, he could go out and lead a bunch of laps, right? Can't really pass.
Yeah, I don't know. I just can't bet him pre-race.
The numbers,
many.
The number's just short, man. Like I'm with you. Like what did we bet him at the Clash? Probably 25 to 1.
Something right around there, yeah.
Right around 20.
So what has changed for this guy's number in the first 6 weeks of the year to go from 25 to 1 to 12 to 1? How many top 10s does he have this year? 1?
Maybe
I'd have
2.
to go back and look.
Yeah, not many.
Like you can't. I mean, they're cutting this guy's number in half. Like he's running around in the top 5 every week.
Yeah, they're pricing in everything that we like that you'd like about him already. Like you're not getting any value on Chase Briscoe at this time.
I hate to say this name, but what it's kind of reminding me of is Ty Gibbs last year. And where Ty would, have a couple good finishes and look like he's going to win a race. And like his number, like remember at times when Ty was 8, 9, 10, 12 to 1?
Yes.
Right. Like I for some reason that hits my mind is like what they're doing with him.
Yeah. Yep.
And there's just no value on him. It's all
Connor
priced
said
in.
they said on the broadcast how they had to change the setups from Marty to Briscoe so much because Briscoe likes a car way different than Marty did. Yeah, that makes sense to me.
Well, I also read a tweet last week where he did that tire test after Phoenix. And I'm sure he was involved in the tire tests, like giving them feedback and everything. But he said he ran every lap, as many laps as he possibly could, so that he could get used to the car because it's completely different than what he was running at SHR.
Right. Yeah, I mean, like if he was 25 to 1 this week, I think you could completely justify hitting the button on him. 12 to 1 is just wild.
What stinks about it is like, what do you think his top 10 number is going to be? Do you think it'll be
Because
minus 200?
I can tell you what it is.
yeah, I could tell you right now that 365 has him at minus 160.
That's horrible.
See, now we should be getting plus 130 because he's 25 to 1. But
Horrible.
yeah, it's terrible.
I don't mind him a top 10 pre-race bet, not at minus 160.
To try to get it like even money on it.
Right.
All right.
Was
okay.
Ross Chastain in that group? Or
I
have
didn't
we
mention it
not
yet.
gotten him?
Well, in terms of the odds in the outright market.
Oh, I don't know. I didn't know if he was in the group that you had mentioned or not yet.
Oh, no. After Briscoe, Bowman 22 to 1, we talked about him. And then you got Chastain, Keselowski, and Bubba all at 25 to 1. Ross, I mean, if Tyre's going to wear, he's pretty solid. He's strong at Darlington. What do you think?
Has Ross had a race winning type car at all this year?
No.
Move on.
What do you think about him just in general on short tracks, though?
I said move on.
Coop, answer my goddamn question.
I mean, I don't know. I think of him on short tracks no different than mile and a half. I actually think on mile and a half he might be a little bit better than short tracks.
All right. In the next gen car, he's finished 5th, 4th, and 8th. And then he finished 14th like 3 times.
Was there a pattern of the season with those finishes?
No.
He's generally gotten worse since 2022, where before he was talked to by Rick Hendrick. We'll just say that.
Yeah.
That poor guy is never going to live that conversation down.
After Ross, Keselowski has been so bad this year. He has been so bad this year. And he's not particularly good here either. So
I was surprised to see where he's priced and the people priced around him. You could make an easy argument for everybody priced around him that they could be better here than him.
100%. Coop, anything on Brad?
He led 170 laps last fall. That's probably
he might not have sniffed the top 10 this year.
That's probably his last greatest moment of the racing life.
Yeah. Do you remember how good they were the second half of last year?
Oh yeah.
What happened?
Yeah. I don't know.
Bubba Wallace 25 to 1. Bubba Wallace is low key pretty solid at Martinsville. Showed a lot. He showed speed last week. Do I think he could beat Elliott, Blaney, Byron, Denny, Joey, and Larson? No, I don't. I think I bet you he could top 10 this race though.
Yep. He did really well last year in the spring too. I think he qualified second, ran around pretty much second all day, right behind Chase Elliott. He's quick.
Stage 1 and 2, I think he ran around in second, right?
Yeah, I'd have to go back and look, but yeah, he was a contender most of the day.
I just have a hard time seeing Bubba Wallace beating all those guys.
Right, but let me ask you this question. Could you see Bubba Wallace beating Chris Bell this weekend?
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
Can you see him beating Ross Chastain?
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Alex Bowman?
Yes.
Chase Briscoe?
Yes.
So let's get to the nuts and bolts of it. He could be as high as the 6th best car here. And would it surprise you if he was better than Denny or Byron?
I was going to say, the top Toyota market feels live for Bubba more than the outright.
Like Bubba carries a lot of momentum right now. The last couple races, like he's put himself in a position where, right things happen. Maybe he ends up winning. Who knows? But he's at least given himself an opportunity. But the other thing with Bubba, I think he's got the second best pit crew this year.
I can tell you.
Meyer and I were kicking ourselves for not betting him to be the top Toyota at plus 850 on Sunday.
Right.
If they hang that number, I can get down with that. I don't know if they're going to hang that number, though.
He does have the second best pit crew.
Do we have
some margin
Toyota
over
yet?
Byron, but
He is 850.
Yeah. Like, I don't think you have to bet him, but like, I think you got to seriously watch him. I would not be surprised. Like, if you really want to bet him, I think you got to bet him now.
You wouldn't take a shot on him to be top Toyota at 9-1?
yes.
I wouldn't be surprised if he qualifies, anywhere from 4th to 6th to 7th.
Mar, you think we're going to
Where's
get a
that
better
at? I'm
number
betting
than
it
that?
now.
You think we're going to get a better number than 850?
It can't be much better than that. Where's that? Is that at Caesars?
Yeah.
I'll just take a quick look around if you guys want to keep
Nobody
talking.
else has it, though, right?
I'm looking now.
What do they got Briscoe at? 3-1. That's not bad either, to be honest. Just gotta hope Denny doesn't put you in the fucking ground.
Yeah, considering like Coop said, he's like just consistently runs around the top 5 all day.
Yeah, that's a tough.
You're gonna have to edge. You're gonna have to edge him out.
You need if you're gonna bet that top Toyota, you've got to have Denny as a hedge. I think you have to have Denny, Briscoe, and Bubba. I think you're going to have to parlay it. You need Bubba at 16-1.
Well, you could bet it right now, though. Like, if Denny wins, you'll break even. If Briscoe wins, you'll make a unit. And if Bubba wins, you'll make 7 units. That's
and
not
if Bell
bad.
shows up, you're in a world.
Yeah. Chris Bell will put you in the ground. Yeah. Chris Bell will put you in the ground. Yeah. That number's wrong on Bubba, though.
Is he the 4th favorite?
Yeah.
5th. Yeah, 5th favorite.
He's the 4th. Tyler Reddick is 12-1.
Hold on. Oh, okay. Bell, Briscoe, Hamlin. I thought
right.
Okay. Yeah.
Right. I'm going to at least throw a nickel on that now. I'll bet another nickel if we find a better price.
Well, if anybody's listening, bet it now because I promise you this line's going to insta move.
Yeah, it's what we do.
I promise you this line.
I guarantee you'll see it on the show. You guys want to see it fucking switch in real time?
God, I wouldn't worry about it. I'm sure you can get 850 at MGM or DK.
All right. Hold on. Just let me put that in the chat.
See, I know it's not the props show, and I can't give it out anyways because the line moved. But I had Briscoe to win the poll at 11-1. That number, it's gone. Like they insta move that number too.
Sometimes you just gotta make a bet when you gotta make a bet. All right.
So the next group would be like what? Priest, Ty Gibbs.
Next group after it would be Priest 25-1, Berry 30-1, Reddick 30-1. Ryan Priest
on that group.
Ryan Priest Coop. I kind of think that if you can get his top 10 number in that plus 150 range, I know we'll get there on Thursday night, but I don't think he could win the race. But you can make the case he's been the best Roush car on the track this year.
Which number is worse, Briscoe at 12 or Priest at 25?
Priest at 25, probably.
They're both hideous. Like, there's no way Priest should be 25. I don't disagree with what you just said.
With the top 10.
That, and he's been good here, and he's solid, and all this and all that this year. But it should be 45 or 50.
What it opened at.
Yeah,
Like,
I
it
mean,
still should be 45 or 50.
I
Like,
just don't.
the book shouldn't be that worried that they're taking that much money on a Ryan Priest.
Yeah, when you have Larson, Blaney, Denny,
Right.
Chase,
Like, they should
get
be like,
real.
they should be like, give me the damn money. Keep hitting it.
Yeah.
Keep hitting it. Come on.
Bubba Wallace
want
top
your money.
Toyota is now 5-1. You're fucking
but like that's not the attitude they take at him, which is horrible.
I know. They insta move all these lines now, and because Caesars opens these things, more or less when they take early action, they move, and everybody else bases their line off of that line now. So everybody else opened after that 50. Everybody else opened when it got bet down to 30. That's where everybody else is now. 30. He shouldn't be 30.
$3.02. But Coop, where you at? I don't mind that top 10 number though.
Right. On Priest.
Yes.
Right.
I like that number. Josh Berry 30-1. I mean, good tire wear guy. Pretty decent short track guy.
Yeah, but
what's he done here?
He's really good here. Like, Martinsville's where he, did all his late model running. Well, not all of it, but a lot of it. I think with him, like, his confidence is going to be high going into this race, knowing what he's done here in the past and with how he's running.
He was decent in an Xfinity car, but he doesn't have any wins in an Xfinity race here. 2 top fives.
He was pretty disappointing on Sunday, but he's been very good this year.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know do you think he could win? Like, the thing is, like, if he shows up, if you throw last week out and he shows up with the speed that he had the 2 weeks prior to last week, where he ran around in the top 5 all day, I don't know, man. Yeah, it wouldn't shock me.
I think he has as much a chance as Ryan Priest.
So you think he should be 50-1, not 30?
Right.
What's his top? Well, I don't want to talk about it now. We cut the show up into 2 shows and it's fucking me up. All right. Tyler Reddick, 30-1. I mean, no interest. Do you guys have any interest?
He just hasn't been great on short tracks that are flat.
Kyle Busch, Austin Cindric, and Chris Buescher, 35-1, 35-1, 40-1. Honestly, I see a world based on, especially with Cindric, with how Penske has looked. It would not shock me to see that kid running around in the top 10 all day. And like KB, if he's got the whip, he could win anywhere. It's KB. It's just a question of, is he going to have the whip? It's not like he's incapable of winning at Martinsville with a good car. I bet you he's got fucking a half dozen grandfather clocks in his house. So, I mean, like, let's be real. But, like, I don't know, Coop. Do you think that 8 team will have anything for these top contenders?
They haven't been very good in the short package, meaning RCR. And it's a big race again for him because his momentum's going the wrong way. I mean, in this new car, -1 race. His best finish is 16th.
Yeah, it's not great.
He hasn't led a lap here in the new car.
And the one good finish he had in the new car was for Gibbs. It wasn't for RCR.
Can't do it.
I don't really disagree. What do you think about Busher? Another guy that hasn't been great here.
No. No interest.
Yeah, I'm with you. No interest. I don't think there's anybody worth
I
talking
bet you can get
about.
Carson Hocevar for 100-1 this week, Adam. Can you?
He's 100-1 right now at MGM.
Certainly can. There's 150-1 on him.
Or I mean, Bet365. My bad.
Yeah.
So
Well,
Ty Gibbs 50, Noah Gragson 75, Hocevar 100. There's probably nobody we're talking about beyond this line. Ty Gibbs. What is there to say? Pass.
And we're on a softer tire. Double pass.
Noah Gragson.
what's it got to be for you to bet him?
There is no number right now.
You price him right up there next to Burt Myers at 300-1.
Yeah, I mean, there is quite literally no number right now. Have you seen what he's done, Coop? I think the guy's average finish this year is like 28th. Somebody said. I thought I saw Furman tweet something out. Like his
It's bad.
his average finish the last 12
28th or
races.
29th.
I mean, that is woo-wee.
And they had onboard audio with him that just sounds terrible. Car doesn't do anything they want it to do. I just don't understand how they completely miss the mark week in and week out with that team. But I digress.
And then Hocevar hasn't been very good here either.
Mm-mm.
So I don't really think that there's anybody worth talking about past those guys in the outright market. None of them have a shot. Bubba's down to 4-1 to be top Toyota now. Okay. I'll play along. So if you were going to rank your top 5, I would say mine would be Blaney number 1. I guess Larson number 2. Very hard between Byron and Elliott. Both those guys at number 3. And I'll say Logano number 4, which would really be number 5. That's probably where I'm at right now.
If Chase hasn't looked like he's had the worst HMS car these last couple weeks, I would definitely put him number 2, even ahead of Larson. Like on those short tracks, like you said, he's been so good. But I don't know.
Hasn't looked
I don't
great
know if he
though.
just
The last
auto
couple of
shows up.
weeks.
Yeah.
Got to
But I
take
think
it
my
very seriously though, for sure.
Yeah, that's why I think I don't want to try and have 3 Hendrick cars and outrights. I think I just want to get the number up on Hendrick itself if I can at all. That'd be my shot this week. That and Blaney.
What's your top 5, Coop, before we go?
Larson number 1. Blaney number 2. Elliott number 3. Denny 4. Byron 5.
You think Denny shows back up, huh?
I wish I knew what he had last week, what he really had.
Out of respect, like, we read off his results, and I can guarantee you at some point, if not multiple times throughout that run, he's kind of, been like he was at this time of the season in a couple of those races, and he still got it done.
Isn't it alarming that he hasn't won here since 2015? You think it's just bad breaks?
Let me ask you this, all right? Based upon what you saw from Kyle Larson this weekend, would have you not thought he had won every single Homestead race in his life? All right.
Well, yeah, but he likes to drive into the wall and hurt his car. I mean,
And how many times has he won at Homestead prior to this weekend?
I don't know the answer to that off the top.
Oh, he won in 2022, right? He swept every stage.
Maybe once.
Go back to 2022.
One time.
Well, they've only ran a next-gen car since 2022 here, right? There's only been
but like you were talking about Denny over 10 years. I mean,
10 years. Yeah, Larson's ran there. They've only ran this race 3 times.
The bottom line is it's hard to win. Hard to win.
Well, Denny, prove it to me first with that Progressive insurance car. How about that?
Yeah, I mean, I definitely understand where Coop's coming from. Like, he's led at least 20 laps in a fucking bajillion races. He's ran third, fourth, or fifth a dozen times.
Dude, just save yourself the stress, Adam, and bet Logano and Hamlin.
I think that's a great call.
So hold on.
I think that's the way to go.
With the new format for qualifying, then he's going to go out really early, right? With the way that they're pulling the metric.
Okay.
And how bad he's been at qualifying this year. When you say track position is everything, do you think that he can drive up through the field, or he's just going to have to do it on strategy?
He started 37th last year, finished 5th. He started at wait a minute. He's done it before. He can do it.
I like the idea of having like that Denny Logano combo, 2 old guys that could just put your dick in the dirt. Like if you can get that to like 10, 11 to 1.
Like how many times over the past 3 years have we made the comment that fucking scum Logano is going to screw us?
100%.
Every time he's in the race.
That fucking scum Hamlin's going to screw us. And now you have one race where both of them could do it to you.
Yeah, you just know that they're going to be 100%.
Because usually it's one or the other.
Right. If you're on the front row and Denny Hamlin's 3rd and Logano's 4th on the last restart, you're beside yourself.
But what are you going to do? How many other tickets are you going to freaking have? How many? You going to get the number up on Hendrick, or are you only going to bet Larson and Elliott?
Who said mind your business, bro? All right.
You're going to be moving pallets of paint on Sunday. You won't even be around.
I might just bet Ty Gibbs and Brad Kozlowski to spite you.
Coop, you're a good man. I don't want you to do that.
So I can, say, oh, you could have had a 50 to 1 first win ever. And you know what? If I hit him at 50 to 1, I probably made a little bit of money on him now.
Coop, just wait till midway through stage 1 when he's in the back. You can get him 100 to 1 live. How about that?
I mean, ideally, if you can get the number up on Blaney, the number up on Hendrick, and the number up on Denny Joey combo, you're in a great spot. It's not going to be easy to do, but if you could do it, you're in a great spot.
Yeah.
Well, Blaney's not terrible because he's already 5 to 1.
Right.
but it's the Hendrick number that's going to kill you.
It's gonna be tough. Yeah, gonna be real tough.
Real quick, Xfinity race. I really haven't looked a lot of it, but I got to have an Amarola ticket.
I clicked the button straight at 250 on Almirola. I'll worry about what I parlay to him later.
I haven't even thought about the Xfinity race yet, if I'm being honest.
And then trucks, Byron and Heim, maybe.
Yeah, I'm actually thinking about doing just a weekend sweep of Byron, Almirola, Blaney, Byron, Almirola, HMS.
Byron, Almirola, Blaney, Byron, Almirola, HMS. I have to think about that.
But hasn't Willie B's ran the trucks here before and hasn't won, right?
No, one race, one win in trucks.
Oh, okay.
Almirola and Xfinity, 2 races, 2 wins, 298 laps led, never finished worse than second in a stage.
Almirola is an auto click.
Yeah, 100%. His numbers are crazy.
What truck is Byron in? The 7?
He'll be in that Spire 07. It's the 07 or the 7.
He'll be in the
whichever
one
one's
that puts
faster.
you in the grave Friday night.
Cool.
Yeah, he's going to be in the Larson special.
Yeah, I'm not fading that fucking truck.
Not a shot.
Not a shot. Not a shot.
And this was Almirola's best track as a Cup driver too, right? He had really good finish.
Yeah, he's just great short track tire wear guy.
Yeah.
Eric Almirola.
What's the number on Byron and Almirola?
I don't see a number on Byron yet, but Almirola was 250 at Caesar. That's down to like 190 now, I think.
Is Caesar's the only place you can do that, Adam?
It depends on the book. So like DK didn't let you do the Larson sweep because you couldn't bet him like because of the outcomes. But they did have like a pre-built one you could bet. FanDuel didn't let you do it either, I don't think. So it depends on the book. But I know Caesars would let you do it. You have to shop around. Maybe ESPN, maybe Bet365. You have to try.
Yeah. So in Cup, Jay, in the new car, Amarola's run here 4 times, has 3 top 10s. Worst finish is a 15th, best is a 2nd.
Do you think that Bubba Wallace number for top Toyota now is just completely cooked because all the other sports books are going to go off that 4-1 number now when they open?
Probably. I mean, that's kind of what they did on the outright with Priest.
I guess the other thing too, go ahead.
No, go ahead.
With trucks, like Christian Eckes dominated both races last year. Do you think it's the truck, Eckes? Like, do you have any shot that Daniel Hemrick could do it?
I mean, that McAnally 19 is really good here. Really, really good here. He won those races for fun last year, didn't he?
I believe so.
Yeah, that's what I was looking. You can get him a top Chevy in Xfinity.
What
We talk about all the props later. No, for the Xfinity race.
Coop's talking about the 19 truck in
right, but Eckes is running in Xfinity. Do you think he's good?
Oh no, I'm not. I wasn't. Yeah, I see what you're saying, but I wasn't looking at it like that. I was looking at it from a perspective. But I see what you were saying.
Well, that's what I'm saying. Do you think it's more the truck, or do you think it's Eckes? I guess that's where my question's at.
I think it was a lot more of the truck than Eckes.
Same. I always lean, especially on these lower series, I always lean that truck has an edge on everybody.
Still think it's like nothing against the truck, but I think that 07 is going to be tough to beat.
Yeah, probably, especially with Byron in it, and it's not Daniel Hemrick.
Right.
Yeah,
Majeski's good on short tracks too, in the truck as well. So I mean, it's not like none of these guys are just like, yeah. I don't know.
The other thing too is in the trucks.
Who?
Like Lane Riggs. He didn't do great at either one of the Martinsville races last year, but he was been on wheels on every other short track.
Yeah, like I think it will be a very competitive race where we can probably get a pretty good number as long as Byron doesn't run away. Like
Well,
he might.
you're not going to run away in Martinsville.
I know, but like you know what I mean. Like he could just he could lead a lot of laps in that race. But if he doesn't, and he looks like he's just in the pack, then I think that we're gonna probably be able to make some money. What do you think they open him, Coop? Coming off of what Larson did at the end of that race.
You're talking about Byron?
Yeah.
I think he's 2 and Heim's 250.
Think he's that? Would you want him to be shorter than what Almirola was in Xfinity? That edge in that Xfinity car for Almirola is crazy. I was actually surprised to see it open at 250.
What do you think? It's just going to be Almirola and Allgaier running away?
Allgaier's been pretty strong. He's pretty strong. Has been pretty strong this year from a speed perspective and all that. He's pretty good at Martinsville.
Allgaier historically has been strong too, right?
He's strong.
He's got six. He's got 6 races, 1 win, 4 top 5s.
Yeah, he's been good.
My other thing in the
Almirola's been the class of the field every time he's been on the racetrack this year. So,
yeah, and he's going to his best track.
Yep.
What do you think about Chandler Smith in the trucks? He was good in Xfinity here.
I think his 2 best tracks are Richmond and Phoenix. But
would you rank him 4th going into the truck race, or would you put him behind the McAnally trucks?
Like I would put him, I don't know. Like he would either be 3rd or 4th. Like, what do you do with Lane Riggs?
Well, Hyman and Majeski are your 2-3, right? After Byron.
Right. Yeah, Majeski, yeah.
So my question is, do you put Chandler there, or do you put the McAnally trucks in that 4 spot?
Like I don't know. I can't put Hemrick up there. I mean, they've had speed all year, and neither one of them done it. Those trucks.
Ankrum came alive in that truck race last week too, for a little while, until Larson just said, "To hell with everybody."
All right.
But if Caesars lets me parlay that, I will definitely have a Byron Almirola, and then the Sunday ticket.
All right, boys. You know where we're at for the outright market for Cup, and at least where we're going in the other 2 series. We'll be back on Thursday night. We'll go over all the props markets for you guys. I'm not sure when Holden will be live for college basketball. Sean and him might go live tomorrow for NBA. I'm not sure. Thursday and Friday they might go live, or Thursday. We'll be live Friday, Saturday, and Sunday like we normally are. Probably a couple of them will be subscriber shows. One of them will be free this weekend. And then that's it. Hopefully we can work on getting our money back from getting fisted last weekend. I still have to figure out tomorrow how much money I actually lost. But hopefully we get back on track. Either way, still having a great 2025. Don't forget, use the promo code NASCAR is back for a 1-week free trial at nukethehouse.com. Hit the like button, subscribe to the YouTube channel, and the boys and I will see you guys Thursday night for the props market. We're out. Later.